I'm Mr. Bhalerao sir, and I welcome you to my channel, that is English for Learners. Today, what a violent storm it is. Yes, it is a tempest. Friends, today we are going to learn one of the best play, a drama, written by William Shakespeare, and that is The Tempest. Actually, it is a play, but we shall learn in form of story. First of all, I would like to introduce the characters of this play or the story. Let's watch on the screen. Let's see the characters of this story. Prospero, the Duke of Milan and one of the great magicians. Miranda, a daughter of Prospero. Antonio, brother of Prospero. Alonso, the king of Naples. Sebastian, brother of the king Alonso. Ferdinand, prince of Naples and son of the king Alonso. Gonzalo, true and loyal lord of Prospero. Sycorax, an evil witch. Caliban, a twisted, ugly monster and the son of Sycorax. Ariel, chief of imprisoned spirits. Friends, let me tell you the summary of this story. In this play or the story, we shall learn there is one character, Prospero. He is a great magician and the Duke of Milan. How he reached on an enchanted island with his baby daughter Miranda. Why he went there? How the tempest arose in the sea. How he uses magic power to create a tempest or the storm. So let's watch on the screen the detailed story of this play. But don't forget to subscribe my channel. Let's see the story in detail. Prospero was the Duke of Milan in the kingdom of Naples. He was such a studious and learned scholar that he spent most of his time reading books, while his brother Antonio managed the business of ruling his dukedom. Now, Antonio was a treacherous man and he wanted to become Duke of Milan in his brother's place. In fact, Antonio would not have hesitated to kill Prospero, but he knew that the people loved their duke and would never forgive his murderer. So, Antonio got together with Alonso, the king of Naples, who was Prospero's enemy. They took Prospero to sea, and when they were far away from land, they put Prospero and his baby daughter Miranda into a broken old boat and sailed away. Prospero and Miranda were left to drift into the wide open sea. Thus, Antonio managed to take over the dukedom of Milan with all its wealth and power. Now, among Prospero's courtiers was a true and loyal lord called Gonzalo. Out of love and loyalty for the rightful duke, Gonzalo had secretly placed in the boat fresh water, food, and clothes, and along with them, Prospero's most valued possessions, his books. You can imagine the hardship faced by Prospero, cast adrift in a oarless boat with a baby girl to care for. However, they were fortunate that the boat reached an island and they landed in safety. The island was an enchanted island. For years together, it had come under the spell of an evil witch, Sycorax, who had imprisoned all the good spirits she found on the island. She herself had died before Prospero arrived on the island, but the spirits remained trapped in their prisons. The trunks of the large trees on the island. Prospero was a great magician, for his life had been devoted to the study of magic. The power of his art enabled him to set free the imprisoned spirits, of whom Ariel was the chief. The spirits were so grateful to Prospero that they promised to be ever obedient to his will. In the woods nearby, Prospero found Caliban, a twisted, ugly monster. He was the son of Sycorax, the witch. Caliban became Prospero's servant. Apart from being hideous and horrible in appearance, he was also vicious and brutal in his habits. No matter how hard he tired, Prospero could not make him change his ways for the better. And so it was Ariel's job to see that he carried out his task properly. Time passed, and Miranda grew up to be a sweet and beautiful girl. The spirits of Ireland were loyal and faithful to Prospero, who ruled them wisely and well. Now, it came to pass that Alonso, king of Naples, his brother Sebastian, and Antonio, the wicked brother of Prospero, were sailing in a ship close to the enchanted island. The ship was also carrying Prince Ferdinand of Naples and the old loyal courtier Gonzalo. The entire party was returning after the marriage celebration of their princess in a far-off kingdom. Knowing that his enemies were near his Ireland, Prospero raised a great tempest with the power of his magic. The royal ship was turned and tossed on the stormy waves. It seemed as if it would sink any moment, along with all the people on board. As the tempest raged, Prospero led his daughter to the shore of the Ireland and showed her the ship struggling on the wild waves. Miranda, a kind-hearted girl, begged her father to have pity on the people caught in the storm. "Oh, father," she begged, "if by your art you have raised this dreadful tempest, please, please quell the storm now. save the poor souls on board. Prospero told his daughter not to be afraid. I have so ordered it that no person on that ship will be hurt in any way. I intend to save every one of them, but what I have done now is in your interest, he said to her. Miranda was puzzled. Why should her father put the ship and its crew in peril for her sake? Then, for the first time, Prospero told her that story of their past life. He explained that he had caused the tempest in order to bring his enemies, Alonso and Sebastian, within his power. Having narrated this story, Prospero touched Miranda with his magic stick, and she fell fast asleep. Now, Ariel appeared before him to give an account of the storm. He gave lively story of the fears of sailors, the anxiety of Lord, and how Prince Ferdinand, King Alonso's son, had leaped into the sea. His father and the rest of royal party feared that he was dead. The prince, for his part, believed that his father and the other lords had gone down with the ship. In reality, Ariel informed Prospero the ship was safely anchored in one corner of the island. Ferdinand was all alone on the beach, and Alonso, Antonio, Gonzalo, and others were wandering about on the island, not knowing where to go. Ariel, my joyful spirit, said Prospero, bring Ferdinand here at once, for my daughter must see him. Remember, master, I have served you joyfully all these years, and you promised me that you would set me free one day. Obey my commands now, Prospero said to him, and in 2 days I shall set you free. Ariel, assuming a form About to kill the sleeping king when Ariel woke him up, saying his life in the nick of time. Many more tricks did Ariel play on Prospero's enemies. He caused them to wander about. He filled their ears with strange and frightful noises. When they were faint with hunger, he set a huge banquet before them, only to take it away when they touched the food. When the men were nearly out of their senses with fear and hunger, Ariel reminded them of their treachery and wickedness in the past. King Alonso and the loyal Lord Gonzalo were filled with grief for all the injustice that had been done to Prospero. In this repentant mood, Ariel brought them before Prospero. At first, they could hardly recognize the former Duke of Milan, for he was clothed in his magic robes. But Prospero revealed himself to them in his own form. He thanked Gonzalo for his kindness and reproached the king and Antonio for their treachery. The king and the other courtiers were ashamed. They begged Prospero's forgiveness. "I have been duly punished for my sins," cried King Alonso, "for I have lost my son, and my kingdom is without an heir." Prospero drew back a curtain from the entrance of his cave. Inside they saw Ferdinand and Miranda happily playing a game of chess. How happy Alonso was to see his lost son! How thrilled he was to hear that Ferdinand was to marry the Duke of Milan's beautiful daughter. So it all ended happily. Prospero assured them that their ship was safely anchored and each and every sailor was safe on board. On the following day, they all set sail for Naples, where Ferdinand and Miranda were to be married. Waving them goodbye, Ariel promised them calm seas and favorable winds. Prospero had set him free to wander where he would, as free as the air. Thus, after many years of hardship, Prospero was back in Milan, where his people welcomed him with great love and joy. He decided to break his magic stick and give up the practice of magic. He was happy and pleased to be back in Milan, but he was happy above all to forgive his old enemies who had wronged him cruelly, even though they had been at his mercy. He did not take revenge on them, but very nobly forgave them. Friends, I hope you might have liked this video. If you liked it, please share it. If you have any suggestions for me, please please write in comment box. Wish you good day. Thank you very much.